We're on the beautiful island of Madeira, and today we're doing an organised food tour in Funchal, in the capital. We're teaming up with Madeira Food On Foot tours, and they're going to show us all of the most spectacular special food to eat in the capital. We're going to see some incredible local meat, some really good fresh seafood, some sweet stuff, Madeira honey cakes, special teas, all unbelievable stuff shown right to us by some enthusiastic locals, which is the best way to see food. Our first stop is the Madeira Tea House. It's in the so-called Yellow Square in the centre of Funchal. Locals call it the Yellow Square as most of the houses are painted yellow, giving it a bright, sunny feel. They have a huge selection of teas, over 150 different types. We had a choice of 4 different teas: fusion tea, which is a fruity tea, green tea, and 2 different types of black tea.
The green tea tends to be sometimes a bit bitter, but this one is not. It has to do with the volcanical soil of San Miguel.
We also had a choice of 2 famous Madeiran cakes, the Portuguese custard tart, pastéis de nata, and a quark cheesecake. Time for some cheesecake, which is a real local one, made with quark cheese apparently. And I've been told it's very different to a New York style cheesecake. And actually, yeah, it feels more actually cheesy as opposed to the New York cheesecake, which doesn't feel like cheese at all. It looks a bit like cottage cheese. I'm gonna try it without any jam. Oh, lovely. Nowhere near as sweet as what you know cheesecake to be. And that actually is cheese. I know it sounds strange to say, but normal cheesecake doesn't seem anything like cheese, but this is proper flaky cheese. It's a little bit like a cottage cheese. Yeah. Very soft flavour, very smooth.
I just bought it
with the jam.
Because I know that people like to taste a bit of this. Because they are making an apple.
It's a creamy custard tart and some nice flaky pastry.
It's a bit rude.
Oh, I love that.
I think if you have been speaking Portuguese your whole life, and it's the accent.
I love these things.
We too.
Every time we stop, when we're out on our adventures around the island, we have to grab a few of these. They're beautiful. And they're not too sweet. They're quite creamy. Like a rich baked custard. Fantastic. And a perfect snack. Got some cold infusion tea with fruit. Yeah, so it's tea with fruit infusion, but beautiful. It's quite hot here in Funchal, even in mid-November, and it's really nice to have a cold iced tea for breakfast. After tea and cake, we also tried some local guava fruit. The Portuguese name is Guyana. It looks yellow from the outside, but it's bright orange in the middle.
And it is also used to make a kind of marmalade, especially in Brazil, and they eat that with fresh cheese. But the tree grows here on the island too. In fact, many trees that exist, or many fruits that exist in South America, they adapt here too.
The smell is incredible.
Maybe that's red. And,
wow.
Looks like
hard skin.
A little bit sour. Yeah, it's not sweet.
No.
It is a tree tomato.
It's really unusual. Some people just have them in their house because they have such a strong perfume. It just makes your house smell tropical and delicious.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. It's got like a ball of seeds right in the middle, rock hard. It's like eating little stones, but you can crunch them down. Apparently you can eat them and they're very safe. But the flesh and the skin's interesting. It's a little bit sour, a little bit bitter. Personally, not my favourite, but Ida's really enjoying it. I think she's found a new favourite fruit. We also tried local Tamarillo fruits, or tree tomatoes. They really do taste tomatoey, and I reckon they make a great tomato salsa with a little bit of chili and some lime juice. Renske was saying that there is a large market near here, but usually the locals don't buy there. They buy from these stalls on the streets. Apparently they can get a bit pushy in the markets, and also they put sugar on the fruit to make it taste sweeter when you're trying it. Sometimes the prices can be 3 or 4 times what you pay on the streets, so go to the market and have a look, but if you want to buy something, get it from one of these street stalls. It's a local tip. These avocados are huge and they're €3 per kilo, and it's incredible. You can pay €3 for 2 tiny avocados in the UK. This interesting looking fruit is a pineapple banana. It tastes like banana and pineapple, but you have to wait for the scales to fall off because it doesn't get ripe all at once, so you can only eat parts of it. The locals have got a funny name for it because of its shape, but I'm sure you can guess what that is. Next we made a short stop at a local sweet shop to try the famous Madeira honey cake. It's called bolo de melo. Bolo is cake and melo is honey, but this is not honey from bees, but it's syrup from sugarcane juice. Honey cake's a typical Christmas cake made with dried fruit and spices, and apparently is always broken by hand and shared out. You never use a knife. Famous Madeira honey cake made from honey from sugarcane, fresh sugarcane juice boiled down and reduced until it gets really rich. And apparently they have it at Christmas. It looks really rich and sticky. Let's try. Oh, what nice. It reminds me of ginger cake, but without the ginger, if that makes any sense. Yeah, Christmassy. Cinnamon, spices. Not overly sweet. They're quite rich and dark. And apparently once you open it, you can store it for up to a year, and it's still nice. I like it. Very good. Our main stop for lunch was a family-run restaurant called Abica, serving traditional Madeiran food. We had a huge feast. Scabbard fish with fried banana, garlic bread, bolo de caco, wine from Madeira region of Portugal, tuna fish with onion and white wine sauce, beef espetada, which are these beautiful beef skewers cooked on local laurel sticks, and pork with a lot of garlic and white wine marinated over 3 nights. So first thing we've got in this little restaurant is some scabbard fish, which is the local, sort of most common local fish, really meaty, and some fried banana, really unusual. I've never had banana in a savoury way like that. Wow. Really unusual with the banana, but you know what, it does work really well. Really strong flavour from the banana. But it is quite savoury. It sort of lost its sweetness as it's been fried, it seems. Delicious. The smell of garlic coming from this bread is amazing. So really local garlic bread. Look at that. Called bolo de caco. And it's just covered in garlic. I mean, I could smell it before I even saw it. Let's give it a go. Beautiful. I love garlic bread. Oh my god. That's the most garlicky garlic bread you've ever tasted. Really fresh bread. Crispy, warm still from the oven. That's great. So for the wine, we've got a really nice Portuguese wine from the mainland, from Madeira region, and it's a Vinho Verde, a green wine. And yeah, it's got a really fresh sort of greeny, great flavour to it. It's delicious. Now we've got a really interesting vegetable called pimpinela in Portuguese, and it's a little squash, and they boil it or steam it. Apparently it's really healthy. Another piece of fish now. This is tuna fish in an onion and white wine sauce, otherwise known as beef of the sea, apparently. really big, meaty piece of fish there. Beautiful. Big flakes. Let's get some onions on it. Look at that. That's lovely. Oh wow. Really intensely flavoured sauce. Strong white wine and onion flavour. Quite sort of tangy and zingy and acidic. Delicious. It goes really well with the thick, dense, meaty tuna. That's great. And the fish is lovely. Really good. Yeah, definitely my favourite of the two. We also had beef espetada, beef skewers cooked on local laurel branches. In Madeira, laurel leaves are much bigger than what we normally use in the UK and mainland Europe.
Espetada.
Espetada, cooked on the local laurel branches?
Yes, with this leaf.
From the laurel leaf, yeah. Oh, beautifully cooked. Look, nicely rare. Wrapped around that laurel stick. Oh, that's great. That's such a nice way of cooking it. Almost like a little green tinge to it that's coming from that laurel stick. I wonder if it's going to have imparted any flavour. Really soft and really moist and juicy. Great flavour. They've got really good quality meat here on Madeira. Really good. And yeah, I think there is a nice sort of, I don't know, greeny, leafy flavour that's come from the laurel stick. Really nicely seasoned. Perfectly rare. Skewered on a laurel stick. Really cool way of cooking. I love rare beef, and they just cook it perfectly here. Most meat that you get on the island, when we have ordered beef, has always been nicely rare. Perfect. Just how I like it.
And on Monday
Spot on.
they make
Renske also showed us some local Madeiran garlic. It's extra strong, so you only need a little bit. You can only buy it a few weeks a year,
But when locals know that there's local garlic available, they run and they try to take it all. They get it.
I can imagine.
It's like 15 euro for a kilo,
Wow.
but you can keep it for long.
What's
That
this
is
one?
pork meat, like we make it for Christmas. So we let it in a lot of garlic, really, and white wine. And after 2 or 3 nights, we prepare it. But it has to be always on the Christmas table as well.
Marinated for several days. Really special at Christmas.
We make it for Christmas. It is cut
Oh.
in small cubes, and we let it in a lot of
Super
white
soft.
wine,
Falls apart.
white wine and garlic.
Got a sharp flavour from the white wine. This is really nice. Cuts through the fatty pork. And the flavour's really, really ingrained into that. So you can tell it's been marinated for days and days. That's great. I'm gonna try some of the polenta now, the crispy fried maize. Super soft inside. Similar to potato, but I think a slightly denser consistency. Oh, very unusual. Really crispy on the outside, but the middle is super soft. It just collapses. It's almost like a cloud. Really light. Next, we're visiting the main market in Funchal. It's full of fruit and vegetable sellers, fish, meat, flowers, and souvenirs. But we are here for a famous local chocolate shop that makes chocolates representing the flavours of the island, like passion fruit, poncha, and Madeira wine. Got a nice sweet Madeira wine to go with that chocolate. On the theme of alcohol, my choice as well. So I've got poncha,
Delicious.
which is the Madeiran fruity rum punch, and then I've gone for a Madeira wine flavoured chocolate in the shape of a little barrel. Isn't that cool? It's a really, really sweet little chocolate shop.
They have white
Give it a go.
chocolate, milk chocolate, and then only some are dark. And there's one that is really black.
Really strong flavour of Madeira wine. That's beautiful.
Ingwer. Then rose and pepper.
I don't like chocolate, but with the alcohol flavour running through it, I can do that. Yeah. Little poncha. Poncha chocolate, what a nice idea. Oh, creamy white chocolate. Really fruity, really strong, like concentrated fruit flavour, like orange and citrus. Beautiful. The last stop, and I think it might be my favourite, is the poncha bar. Poncha is a traditional alcoholic Madeiran fruity drink. It's strong and sour and made with lots of rum, honey, sugar, and orange or lemon juice. It can be made with other fruits too, like strawberries and passion fruit. The strongest type of poncha is called the fisherman's or pescador. It's made with just local rum, lemon peel, a little bit of lemon juice, and sugar, and it is seriously strong. It's named after the fishermen, as they were the first people to start drinking poncha on the island. It's quite difficult, actually. Thank you. Traditional poncha is made with lemon, orange, honey, and rum, but there are many types not considered true ponchas. Authentic poncha has to be made with local sugarcane rum. Often imitation ponchas are made with vodka instead.
But then there are many others that we don't consider poncha anymore, because poncha is made with this.
50%, and it's this.
Yes. And it's local, and it's from sugarcane. Smell this, and compare it with any other rum that you know from at home.
Oh, it's completely different. It's so fruity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Poncha has to be made with this, with a local rum.
Yeah. The first poncha I've ever stirred. Oh, that's much fresher than the other ones I've had actually. Apparently you have to see it made for it to trust that it's a good one. And that white rum, the 50% really, really fruity rum, you can really, really taste that. That gives it its character. So special. It's one of my favourite things about Madeira is this poncha. So good. This is the best bar snack. They're so good. They're little fava beans in vinegar and parsley. And they're just the best snack to have in a bar with a drink. Quite crunchy and quite chewy, but lovely zingy vinegar. and it just adds some certain flavours to your drink. That's the end of the tour. We had a great time. Thank you so much, Renske. It was lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if people, and that's so if people want to book, it's MadeiraFoodOnFoot.com. Is that the best way?
That's the best way. Food on foot.
FoodOnFoot.com. Fantastic. Yeah, I'd really recommend it. It was a great tour. A really relaxed pace. A real good variety of food. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.